Hello, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Dancing Heart podcast. I'm your host, Torny, and I'm going to be honest with you. I started recording this episode over 20 times right now. And the reason why I stopped is exactly what the topic of this episode is going to be about. There is a placement in astrology called Chiron. Chiron is your wounded healer. Everybody has Chiron in their birth chart. And it shows you where your deepest fear is and where your biggest wound is. But it's also where your greatest gift is. This is the placement where you transform your fear into your greatest gift and where you actually teach from. So I have Chiron in Gemini in my 12th house. And isn't it funny when my wound is related to everything that has to do with expression, to do with voice, to do with being seen, being heard, being understood, and just taking up space with my voice, being visible. And now, of course, I got a blockage when I sat down to talk about it because this is where my wound is. It's tied to my communication. So by me sharing my voice, having a podcast, it's actually where I'm also transforming this wound into my greatest gift. And in the previous episode, I was talking about how I discovered my voice and how it wasn't obvious for me that my voice was my superpower. But after I learned about astrology and the Chiron placements in my birth chart, everything just makes so much sense. Of course, I'm here to overcome the fear of being heard and being seen and taking up space. Like, it makes so much sense. Everything is there in your chart, guys. And this is how it looked for me to have Chiron and Gemini in my life. So back in school, when I was younger, I was the one that stayed quiet instead of speaking up. I was afraid of any conflict, confrontations. I even had my friend talking on behalf of me because I was like the shy girl. I didn't share my voice. I didn't speak up or didn't raise my hand in class unless the teacher pointed at me like, hey, Torny, can you answer these questions? Yes, I did answer. And I'm also a generator. I'm here to respond if you wonder about my human design. And I'm also going to share with you that I have an open throat chakra in human design. So it's not very natural for me to sit down and have a solo podcast episode, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm training my muscle to become a better speaker and sharing my voice. This is how I'm also telling to my nervous system that it's safe to speak up, it's safe to be heard, it's safe to be seen, because I'm breaking this pattern that is installed within my body, within my nervous system. And when I took the leap 4 years ago, maybe you know my story, maybe you don't, I got a skin rash all over my body. It was really, really bad. And of course, it's also tied to this wound of being seen and being visible, being heard, and understanding myself, fully seeing myself for who I am. Even though I didn't know about Chiron back then, my body showed me clearly what my wound was. So yes, I learned a tool somatically to regulate my nervous system, to feel safe, to speak up, and that also been helping me to express my voice and to really feel safe being in the spotlight, sharing my voice and expressing and even talking about astrology. I never talk about astrology in my socials or on any of my platforms until this year, because Chiron in Gemini also is about being understood. So I had this belief that if I talked about astrology, people would perceive me as weird. They didn't understand me. But now, you know what? But I don't care about that anymore because I had trained my muscle of learning how to speak up, built my self-worth around my expression. And in the beginning of this year, I had this challenge with myself. Let me create something every single day. I don't care what it is, whatever my soul and my heart wants to create, let me just do it. And I started to speak, then I started to share my voice more, because earlier I just been dancing and expressing through movement, but the real healing. But I see it now, like visibility for me is about sharing my voice. This is exactly what my Chiron placement tells me based on my birth chart, that I am here to share my voice. And it's been so important to me to create and to express whatever was alive within me, and giving myself the permission to do that without the need of performing. Chiron doesn't heal by staying hidden. Chiron heals by doing the thing that scares you. It's speaking up, it's being seen, it's recording, it's publishing, and it's doing it imperfectly because it helps you to train the muscle and overcoming that wound. And yes, and oh my God, I will tell you, like the voices in my head when I sit down to record a solo podcast is just so loud. So I had to take a break and like really come back to my body and telling my nervous system that this is safe to speak up, it's safe to express, it's safe to be seen, because safety doesn't come from external validation. Safety comes from within. And isn't it funny that I've been attracting so many Aries people in my life? Because Aries is so outspoken. They're not afraid to speak the truth, to share their opinion, to express their voice and take up space. I attracted them because I need to learn from them how I can use my voice and speak up. So I'm truly grateful for all of my Aries friends and also clients, because a lot of my clients are also Aries energies, and I love that I am attracting this outspoken, fiery energy people in my life, because as I'm also here to teach them something, they're here to teach me a lot about expression and speaking up. So yeah, pay attention to that, what people you are attracting in your life and what they're here to teach you. I think it's so fascinating how we are attracting what we need. Look at the people we attract into our life, who we are surrounded by, and what can we learn from them if that keeps happening, you know? So learning the tools of astrology has helped me to really understand myself on a deeper level, and being able to connect more of the dots in my life, who I am, what fears am I here to overcome, what is the direction of my purpose, what am I here to do. And for me right now, going straight into Chiron and the wounded healer around communication and just showing up for this solo podcast. And it's funny too, when you are aware of it and you see what opportunities is coming into your life, and everything is just helping you to elevate, because what universe wants you to do is to really become the version of you that stands in your power, knows your worth, and is just doing the things that you're meant to be doing. So last year, I got a speaking gig as a MC at my sister's wedding, and that was also me taking up space, sharing my voice on this whole day. And you know what? It went so well. And I had so much fun doing it. And like now, when I'm getting into the flow of this podcast, this is also fun. I'm starting to have fun, guys. So the more that you do it, the more you take action, and the more that you're just enjoying the ride, the more fun that you will have to, and the more fun that will come to you. Like, yeah, this is how we have the power to transmute the energies. So you want to look at where you have Chiron in your personal birth chart. You want to go to astro.com and you can pull up your birth chart there, what house it is, and also what sign it is in, because this will tell you exactly what wound you are here to overcome, and how you can, and what you can do in order to transform that wound and make it and turn it into your greatest power. And there's also a couple of astrology apps that you can download on your phone, and you can check exactly where you have Chiron. I like Chani, the app Chani, Chani, or you can also download Pattern. That's also an app that's based on your birth chart information and astrology. So yeah, you can try these two. Or you can book an astrology reading with me where I give you a personalized report based on all of the placements in your chart. Go deeper into who you are here to be, how you are feeling safe, where your wound and fears are, how you create abundance, and also about your life direction and your purpose. So you get a personalized report that's for you to keep. And I also include personalized somatic practices or journal prompts that is related to your placements. So it's also practical, not just information, because if you only had the information and not put it into practice, there is not going to be any transformation. In addition to the report, you also get a 75-minute one-on-one call with me where we go deeper into your birth chart, into your purpose, and whatever you want to go deeper into in that session. So you can find the link to book the Dancing Heart reading with me in the show notes, or you can DM me on Instagram. It's Torny Wiggum. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And I'm feeling so freaking happy and energized that I pushed through, even though it took me like 20 attempts to make this episode happen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a beautiful day ahead. Sending you so much love. Bye!